Hello everyone, this is Miss Khulud from Taqwi. Today we are going to talk about motion. You can notice every day several types of motion every day. Like for example, you can see a car moving or motorbike or something like that in different direction and also at different speeds. Today we are going to talk about the types of motion. So let's go. We have two types of motion, transitional motion and periodic motion. So let's talk first about the transitional motion. When we are talking about motion, first we have to put a fixed point or a frame reference. So for example, when we are talking about the transitional motion, you have to know that the transitional motion is the motion according to a fixed point or a frame reference. So by changing the position of the object relative to the frame reference or the fixed point from time to time and beginning with the starting or initial point, ending with the end point. This is the definition of transitional motion. Again, it is the motion of the object relative to the fixed point, starting from the initial or starting point and ending with the end point. So the examples here may be the car motion or the train motion or even the person motion. It is just transferring from point A to point B. Okay. Number two, the periodic motion. When we are going to talk about periodic motion, so you have to know that periodic motion always repeats itself in equal periods of time. In periodic motion, we have three types of periodic motion. In periodic vibrating motion, we just are moving in two sides, right and left or up and down. Like for example, the pendulum. Here is my pendulum. I make it at home. Always the pendulum is moving right and left. And of course, it will repeat this motion in equal periods of time. So this is, of course, a periodic and also a vibrating motion. Number two, the motion of anything that's moving in a circular shape. Like, for example, the motion of the moon around the earth or even the motion of earth around the sun. It repeats itself in equal periods of time and also it makes this circular shape every time. So this is a periodic circular motion. Number three is the periodic wave motion. In this type of motion, it's like the cork in water. It is moving like up and down and also forward. So this is the periodic wave motion. So again, the two types of motion are transitional motion from point A to point B or periodic motion like vibrating, circular or wave motion. Okay, so let's take this question. What is the type of motion in the bicycle motion? The bicycle motion just transfer from a point to another point, like when we are going to school, for example. We just are moving from house to the school. So this is transitional motion. Number two, the movement of fan arms. The movement of fan arms, of course, it will be in a circular shape. So this is periodic circular motion. Excellent. Number three, the type of motion of this. This is moving in two sides, up and down. So this will be periodic and also vibrating motion. And the train, of course, it will be transitional motion. Okay. What about a give reason question? Give reason. The movement of fan arms is a circular periodic motion. In the fan arms, it is repeating itself in equal periods of time and in a circular shape. So it will be a periodic motion. Why? Because it's regularly repeating itself in equal periods of time. Now we are going to talk about the types of wave motion. Number one, the mechanical waves. Number 2, the electromagnetic waves. Mechanical waves, their speed is relatively low first, and they need medium to propagate, like solid, liquid, or gas. The examples of mechanical waves are sound waves and water waves. Number 2, electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves are accompanied by electromagnetic forces. This is number 1. Number 2, their speed is extremely high, equals 300 millionths meter per second. And they can spread in all mediums and also in space. Like what? Like light waves, like microwaves, radio waves, X-rays, gamma rays, and ultraviolet. Okay. Give reason, we receive the sunlight and we don't hear the sound of solar explosions. Do you think why? Sunlight is from electromagnetic waves, which don't need medium to propagate, while the sound of the explosions inside the sun are mechanical waves which cannot travel through space. Question 2. We see lightning before hearing the thunder. Here we are in planet Earth. We are not in space. So, the speed of light in the atmosphere will be extremely high, while the sound waves are considered from the mechanical waves, which is moving slowly. So now, let's wrap up what we already explained today. Today, we were talking about the 2 types of motion. First, the transitional motion, like when we are moving from point to another point. Number 2, periodic motion. Periodic motion types are vibrating motion, circular motion, or wave motion. And the types of wave motion may be mechanical waves or electromagnetic waves. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this session. Stay safe, stay happy, and thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.